Solo Leveling, Season 2, Episode 12. Are you the king of humans? Well, we had the Battle of the Monarchs we've all been waiting for. Did it live up to the hype? Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brent here, back for Geek Variants, cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Solo Leveling, which is continuing its meteoric rise to prominence within the anime sphere, now having received more likes and more comments than One Piece on Crunchyroll, making it the #1 anime on the site, and for darn good reason. After this episode, I think we can clearly see that Solo Leveling has tapped exactly into what its market audience is and capitalized beautifully on it. Loved the episode. Loved a lot of what we got going on. Will, your thoughts?
My thoughts was this episode definitely was one that we were waiting on because we wanted to see I wanted to see how fast we were going to get to the fight with Jinwoo and the Ant King, and we got to it way faster than expected. It's like apparently was a ghetto, like he wasn't even a thought apparently
He's not
at
on
this
their
point.
level.
And so we don't even know if he survived anything. Like,
His head fell off in the off scene, so he's done.
yep,
Goto
yeah,
is.
freaking. Yeah, so for good, that'd be like there was no saving him. There was no healer backup. There was nothing. Like it was just that quick. So with that being said, and then going right to Jinwoo, like I wanted to see how this fight was really going to go. And granted, they put most of the episode was focused on the fight, and I'm very appreciative of that. I just thought this would go a little bit longer, to be honest. I thought it would go into the next episode.
The
So
next episode is going to largely focus on Cha, as we're kind of seeing Jin-Woo seems to have some kind of a sentimental spot. As every time he kept focusing back on the group, you notice how Beck was not involved. The large guy, not involved. The president with too much drip, not involved. He's only looking at Cha. Doesn't care about the cameraman or anything going on. He's like, I need to finish this. I need to hurry up. I need to get my butt in gear. But then as the fight kept going on, we saw that he kept dragging his feet and doing the typical Dragon Ball Z, I'm stronger than you. I'm going to let this continue to drag out as long as possible. And I understand aura is a thing, and aura farming is exactly what he did throughout this episode. But by the same token, don't play with your food so much. Your food evolves, your food regens. Your food was smart enough to realize that, hey, I am in a dire situation. And it went from, I'm going to wipe everybody out to, I need to run. I need to survive. I need to adapt. Like, this is a bad situation all the way.
that was the part I was getting. So when first we get the classic go to, the go to for a lot of shows that do this thing where it's like it's the Dragon Ball effect where hero shows up, you know, bam, does something to hold off the enemy and it starts healing the group every time. It's like you show up with senzu beans, whatever the case may be, start healing the group, and your aura is there, is doing whatever it does. So he comes in, he can't transfer potions that he has, but he can manually give it. So he still has to remain in possession of it. So he's able to heal up everybody except Cha because she doesn't have enough hit points. Like she is way too low on hit points and fading fast. So he can't figure it out. And it's like, well, I still have to protect them. And even the chairman is back there, just, in his seat back at the house, like, what are we gonna do? It looks like he has a heart condition and that's why he can't fight. So he's just like upset, like, all right, we can't figure it out. We have no signal. All the communications are out. We don't know what's going on right now. Like it is bad. This is dire for everybody. And then, of course, the Ant King shows up with all his glory, and we get to stare down. We get to fight. Like you feel like, okay, this is going to be epic. We are waiting for this. There is about to be a no holds barred contest between these two. And as soon as it gets started, like we're immediately kind of met with, yeah, I'm stronger than you. Like
Mm.
we both feel anxiety about what's going on, what the situation is. We see the regeneration come into play and stuff, but apparently it's not fast enough. And Ant King, but literally all the creatures, all the ants like that, they're all fearful because of how Egress, Iron, everybody, Tusk, like they're all coming in and just wrecking shop like bad. But the fact is that the Ant King, who apparently, and that's the thing, he said very sort of like he was born for this, he was meant for this to be all this kind of stuff, but he was super like fearful, and that's the part that kind of took me out of it.
He was
And
born and bred to be that specific person, and he was supposed to fulfill this prophecy, but he wasn't ready for the role. Have you ever met somebody with unlimited potential you thought in life, and you thought they're going to do absolutely amazing things? They start slowly becoming that role, and then they just drop the ball heroically. If you're a sports fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys get that first round quarterback. You think this guy's going to be your dude. He's continuing to evolve and get better. Something horrible happens, and then he never becomes exactly who you thought he was going to be. And the Ant King is just a product of the right person in the wrong situation. He ran up against, there's only three people probably in this universe he couldn't have run up on. He ran into one of them on like his second day alive. Like he didn't get enough time to adapt. He didn't get enough time to evolve. He didn't get to run into the right situation, continue to grow. Because literally, he was the first person to call chicken. He's like, "Army, come on, help!" Like I am in a bad spot right now. I'm missing my arms. I'm missing my legs. I am literally just an exoskeleton in a head. And then all we saw what happened when the Battle of the Armies even happened. Jinwoo had him outgunned. He had him outmanned. He had him outclassed. It just goes to show that like everyone's like, oh, he's a mage type. He just threw hands with a bug with an exoskeleton that was literally one-shotting people who are S rank fighters who that's their bread and butter. Jinwoo is on a different level. He's just leveled differently. I'm not gonna say bred differently because that's a bit of a presumption, but like we're seeing now that he's ready for a lot of different tasks that ultimately a lot of people didn't think he was ready for this early, and now his perception of the world is going to be different because we saw literally how much the chairman believes in him, like you were talking about. When he was trapped in the chair, the minute he saw Jinwoo, he got so excited he shattered his armchair in a plastic chair because he was like, "We've got this. We're good." If the chairman can see talent like this and understand what the situation is, I think we as the viewers should kind of kick back and relax a little bit, even though we still have Cha kind of in the
yeah,
throes of death, so to speak.
yeah, I mean, I definitely want to see. So they're definitely ramping up like to something bigger, badder, greater. They have to be, because the fact is that Jinwoo's kind of been embodying everything that he's come across without so much as a struggle.
The
Like
demon monarch would probably be the one exception. He was
the
not
the
ready
big
for that.
the biggest struggle he had, yeah, was the guy who's about to, drop a lightning blast down his face, and he managed to get through that with some distractions. So the fact is that he went from that to dealing with the Ant King, and dealing with the Ant King with ease. It's just like, okay, well, freaking, that tells me that, okay, was this guy greater than the Ant King in terms of power and so like that? So was the Ant King a step down when he went to go fight him, so like that, or did he get enough levels here that put him, because they were on the same level? Like, again, the power scaling in here is still a little, it's a little confusing, just trying to place where everybody's at in terms of that. Like, I mean, we could place Jinwoo here and all the S rank fighters here for sure, but his enemies, this is where I'm really trying to figure out who's where, and like what power is like within that system, that castle and sort of that, versus what's going on out here. So I don't know, like is literally the fact that he just leveled up twice off of taking out the Ant King, mutilation level max. He was going in, and still this was nothing for him. And now the world has seen this because the cameras and stuff came back up. Because I wasn't sure in the beginning if Jinwoo did something to distort the cameras when he showed up, and that's why he told everybody, "Hey, don't talk about this." But how can you not talk about it at this point? Because now everybody has seen it. The cameraman has recorded everything that everybody's able to see, or streamed it live. So now
Mhm.
everybody knows that this is who you are. Everybody's gonna be coming for you. Join me. Do this, do this. Your popularity just went, through the roof, freaking skyrocketed, and then you still have to deal with what's going on with Cha. So it's just like, yeah, I did all this. I got all this attention now. Freaking didn't want it. I took everybody out effortlessly. What's next? And right now it's dealing with Cha. And the fact is, I call those elixir of lives. I said he got like what, 6 of them.
He's got a
He used
couple.
like he used one on mom, and freaking he just used one here, and it still didn't work because she did not meet the criteria for the healing that it provides.
Which I
So
do
one's
respect for the system, that it's literally like it's a very specific criteria. If this criteria is not met, no.
it doesn't
It's a
work.
very fair anime as opposed to
Yeah,
somewhere it's like it's close enough, we'll bend it. This one's just like, nah, no
yeah.
means no.
No, so that doesn't work. So now we're sitting here at the cliffhanger. Save Cha. That's what we got. We need to save Cha some type of way, and we don't know if she's going to be saved. So with that, now because this looks like his love interest, pretty sure they're going to figure it out. But again, how they're going to figure it out, because I didn't know his exchange, how long it takes in between to, I guess, it's on cooldown.
It's like
So
when you use your ultimate in Final Fantasy, you got to rebuild that ultimate gauge. He does not have that at this time. It's that same respawn time, like if you use a powerful move in
yeah,
any game you've ever played before. It's the recharge time is very long right now. He hasn't hit any perks yet to accelerate that, so to speak. He's just kind of like, I'm kind of stuck out of time here, and I got to go deal with this problem. So we're just kind of we got to do what we got to do, because if I didn't get here, we know how that would have ended. Because Goto was the strongest person on that island, and he got offed in a scene that was barely even shown.
yeah,
And
and
again, we
that
still have Japan up to some kind of mischief on the side, where we see that the Federation head is still like, I can salvage this. I lost 7 S ranks, and I can still make sure that Korea gets their comeuppance. This was something I
yeah,
was worried that they were going to not cover, because this is, something that is being created in Japan. So I thought that they would have kind of went around it, but they're dealing with it head on, and all the more respect for it, because that opened up a whole can of worms. And to answer your question about power leveling, there was an arc that was slightly skimmed over where there was some grinding done, so he did get stronger. To answer
okay.
that
See,
question,
so yeah, so and that's the thing. I just think that to meet the season 2 deadlines, I guess, for whatever they have, which is looks like just like 12 episodes a pop per season, so to speak.
because we have
Um,
next week's episode left, and that's a finale.
yeah, so to do this and to meet within that timeline, they definitely, fast track some things. And this is where I'm like, I don't. This is where you're losing me a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still invested in the show, but again, he's sped through the Ant King, like, hey, this ain't nothing, and certain character deaths, which would be like, I would love to have seen freaking, does, and again, I haven't read any of the manhwas, whatever. I haven't read any of this stuff. Like, is this how it happens in there? Does the guy get taken out without a fight? Does he even get a chance to throw a hand or two? So
It's
that
pretty fast. It wouldn't have been much animation.
because if that was the case, and like where we got to know like where the leveling up took place in between, because if what's his name was throwing hands with him in the training area and managed to get that like little slice on him if Jinwoo hadn't caught his hand, so that could have got a whole lot worse. That scene felt so much more hyped up. Now that I've seen this, it felt like that was just hype. If Jinwoo again was just toying with him at the
He was
point in
toying.
time,
He was
yeah,
not
and
taking anything seriously. And this is Jinwoo's biggest problem I have with the character. He's a Goku in the sense he will let you hit him too many times before he's like, oh, okay, maybe I need to actually put the foot on the gas here. And it's like, I struggle with those characters, even though Vegeta's my boy. He does the same exact ish. So I can't be, preaching from a high horse here. It's just there's so many characters that if they took things seriously, we wouldn't have a good anime. But also, you could take it just a bit more seriously for us, the viewer. Just a bit more.
yeah. So, but overall, I'm still enjoying it. Episode's still hot, still a good episode. Like the fight was great. I love the mutilation. Love how he wore him down, even when he ran and he chased him down to like trap him and still like, all right, let me finish this. Like he's still rocking. Because of how fast he can regenerate, I'm surprised he didn't regenerate again and keep fighting some more. So that it just seemed like,
He
but it seemed
decided it
like
was hopeless.
he's just, yeah, at that point his will was broken, and I wasn't sure if that's because the way he was, like he was fine, like all the way up until I don't know if when he like ate old boy and like I don't know if like that was part of him gaining his speech and all that kind of stuff. Did he also gain that fear? Did he gain the
I mean, he
capability of
gained the
that? So
ice
that
power also from eating one of the other Japanese,
yeah.
hunters that had been
So
out there. So that's how he grows.
yeah, so freaking with that being said, like I said, it's like he became fearful. So it was just like, yeah, this you was talking, cash money like a little while ago, and now you out here, scared for your life. It's like you talked a big game and ultimately didn't back up any of it. So it's
And
just
this is
like,
what happens when you get a battle of the ones. Sometimes you're that guy. Sometimes you're not that guy, pal. But if you want to be that guy, arise and hit that subscribe button. It's free. You've listened to us talk for 15 minutes. Clearly, there's something in the content here you enjoy. It's down below. And if you feel financially capable of hitting the join button, becoming one of our members, by all means, go ahead and free so. You are free to do so. If not, don't worry about it. I've been Brent with the man, the myth, the marvel. We'll see you next week.